You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your First Alert Weather update here on ABC 7 News at 4. And we are looking at some showers and storms developing now across parts of the Suncoast. Throughout most of the day, it's been pretty good. Lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures warming into the upper 80s to low 90s. A strong east wind, too, bringing a lot of the red tide effects offshore along area beaches. Talked to some folks there in Manatee County and Anna Maria this morning. Said they had no problems. That may be changing, though, as that west coast breeze has popped up in some areas. High pressure continues to dominate the weather off the Carolina coast, and that is providing us with that easterly flow, which is doing wonderful things as far as red tide is concerned, pushing that offshore. Also, keeping the wave heights down so it's not mixing it up and it's not getting into the air as much as it had been with a more westerly flow. What's going to happen, though, is that high is going to shift down to the south. That begins Thursday, and then we'll see that stick around that way. And that means a more westerly component, west to southwest wind. And that begins on Thursday, more so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if the red tide is still as strong as it has been, it will move back onshore for the most part. You can see some storms around near northwest Bradenton or Palmasola, stretching up toward Anna Maria Island right now. It's producing a few lightning strikes, too. Elsewhere, some showers near Sarasota and Siesta Key, a little bit of light rainfall there, all of it moving off toward the west. Well, much more on our wind flow and what it means for our red tide coming up in just a few minutes. Scott and Jacqueline?
Okay, Bob, thank you. Now to our top story. Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota finding new ways to combat red tide by using just your cell phone. Researchers have launched an app that allows you to mark if you're experiencing the effects of red tide.
They're also rolling out a new cell phone microscope. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is live at Holmes Beach now with how you can get involved. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline, Scott. Beachgoers here on Anna Maria Island say they started to notice dead fish lining this coast 3 days ago. Now, Mote says it's actively working on new ways to mitigate this issue. One of them is this new app called Citizen Science Information Collaboration, or CSIC. Beachgoers can mark where they are or are not seeing dead fish or having respiratory irritation. Researchers have also partnered with NOAA in a project that is training citizen scientists to use a cell phone microscope. Citizens will get a sample of the water, then upload a 30-second video of it into another app. There's an algorithm in that app that calculates the concentration of red tide in that sample by its shape, size, and swimming pattern. I'll show you much more about these projects and have all the information you need to get involved coming up at 6 p.m. on Channel 7. For now, I'm live at Holmes Beach. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. ABC 7 is covering the red tide bloom extensively. You can see all of our stories in a special red tide section on our website, mysuncoast.com. In other news, police are asking for anyone who has had contact with a Bradenton man to come forward after they say child pornography was found in his apartment. Police and FBI agents raided Miguel Angel Bonilla Rivera's apartment on July 26. They say he admitted to using social media accounts to upload, download, and view child pornography. Police are asking anyone who has had contact with Bonilla Rivera to contact them immediately. New at 4, a video of a home break-in Sarasota. Sarasota police releasing this surveillance video that was taken on the morning of July 16th. Police say the suspect was caught on camera trying to open the doors and windows of a home on Edmondson Court. When the homeowner was notified of an alarm, they found one window broken and 2 door handles broken off. Anyone with information on the burglary can call Sarasota Police or Crime Stoppers in Sarasota County. Jacqueline joins us now with new concerns about flying in small planes after a series of deadly crashes.
Scott, today the FAA and the NTSB are investigating that deadly crash in Southern California that left all 5 people on board dead. The pilot, Scott Shepard, was flying with his wife when he declared an emergency before the plane crashed on Sunday. Now experts are examining this video, trying to figure out whether the plane may have stalled and fallen vertically after running out of gas.
We know that pure vertical means that the pilot has totally lost control. When the fire crews reached the wreckage, there was no fire to put out. So the investigators will be looking to see, did he actually run out of gas?
347 people died on small planes in general aviation accidents last year alone. Over the weekend, another small plane crashed in northern Oklahoma, killing all 5 people on board that plane. Now to the search for missing Iowa college student Molly Tibbetts. Her father now saying he believes his daughter is alive and with someone that she knows. The 20-year-old has not been seen since July 18th. Despite a six-figure reward and hundreds of tips, the frantic search for the University of Iowa sophomore continues. But Molly's father says the lack of answers is actually providing hope for her family and is sharing a new theory about her disappearance.
Molly is with someone who she knows, and probably someone who cares about her, but that relationship was misguided, misinterpreted, and went wrong.
Investigators, however, say they have no evidence to back up that theory, and Rob Tibbetts admits he could be wrong. Police are still working to get information from the Fitbit that Molly was wearing on that jog that she took 3 weeks ago tomorrow. Well, the first set of unilateral U.S. sanctions against Iran went into effect as of midnight last night. Additional sanctions are expected over the next few months. These rounds of sanctions will impact Iran's ability to buy or acquire U.S. dollar banknotes, gold, and precious metals. They'll also play a factor on the country's auto industry and sovereign debt. Well, a 9-year-old boy whose lemonade stand was robbed at gunpoint is now the happy owner of a new riding lawnmower. Mark David is a young entrepreneur in Charlotte, North Carolina, but on Sunday he was robbed for $17 in lemonade money. He was saving that money for a new riding mower for his grass cutting business. After hearing about the incident, Lowe's donated a brand new riding mower to that pint-sized businessman. Let's send it back to Scott with more on how a teacher shortage could affect students right here on the Suncoast. Scott.
Jacqueline, some Sarasota County students may see a substitute teacher on the first day of school. Although the district has filled about 140 teaching positions this summer, they still have about 95 that are vacant. The district says they see vacancies like this every year, mostly due to teachers retiring. About 40 teachers are still going through the hiring process. Those people will start off as subs, and once they're approved, they will become that classroom's full-time teacher. New guidelines have been announced for free and reduced price meals for students next week. Application forms will be sent to parents, and if you meet the federal income guidelines, you can apply for benefits at any time during the school year. The eligibility period runs from through June of next year. Still ahead on ABC 7 News at 4, the Venice Police Department adding more school resource officers for the upcoming school year. Plus, a woman in New Jersey left her daily coffee stop at a Wawa a little starstruck. What famous country singer she paid it forward to without even realizing it. And baseball-sized hail in Colorado turns deadly at a zoo and left people running for cover.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
While many parents and students are worried about getting last-minute school supplies, the Venice Police Department is focusing on school safety. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live with how they're getting ready for that new school year. Rebecca?
Scott, the Venice Police Department officers who will be serving as school resource officers beginning next Monday have been in training for the last few weeks and are now ready to keep the schools in Venice safe. Beginning this school year, the shared campus of Venice High School and Venice Elementary School will have 3 police officers full-time. One will be stationed at the elementary school, while the other 2 will be patrolling the high school. All 3 officers completed the SRO advanced training this summer and learned things like how to improve security on the campuses, how to identify any threats, how to respond to an active shooter incident should one occur, and how to build stronger relationships between students and law enforcement. Plus, the chief of the Venice Police Department tells us that this safety of our schools is not just in the hands of the SROs.
Every year what you're going to see at Venice Elementary and Venice High School is an officer presence. Not only will our school resource officers be there, but myself and a bunch of other officers are usually out welcoming the kids to school. We will be out doing some traffic enforcement because that's going to be a priority for us, is making sure kids and parents get their children to school safely, that the kids come to school safely, and that they are able to get home safely.
Venice Middle School will have its own separate school resource officer since it is outside of the city limits. But tonight at 6, I'll have details on a new project that's been happening at that middle school all summer long. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Rebecca, thank you so much. Jacqueline is now in the newsroom with what's trending today.
Scott, hail the size of baseballs wreaked havoc in Colorado Springs, Colorado, leaving windows shattered and people running for cover. Take a look at this video of that hail raining down from the sky. The video shows the inside of a car as the driver pulled over and just watched as that hail shattered his windshield. The man in the car says once he realized how big that hail was, he jumped into the back seat and crouched down as much as possible so he wouldn't get hurt. And that major hailstorm in Colorado also turned deadly at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. 2 animals, a 13-year-old Caped vulture and a 4-year-old Muscovy duck, were killed by large chunks of hail there. Authorities say a number of visitors were injured by that hail and taken to a local hospital. Major damage was also reported to hundreds of vehicles in the parking lot. Well, Uber doesn't service the rural southwest Michigan village of Cologne, but one man came up with a solution. This Amish man putting a spin on ride sharing. Take a look. He gives customers a lift with his horse and buggy, and riders seem to enjoy it. The man calls it Amish Uber, and for just $5, they get more than just a ride. They also get an experience. And a New Jersey woman's desire to pay it forward ended up leaving her starstruck. Years ago, Ruth Reed made a resolution to pick up others' tabs at a local convenience store. When she jumped at a recent opportunity to do some good at the register, she ended up helping none other than country music star Keith Urban. She says Urban was gracious, even snapping a picture with her. She's now sharing her surreal story to spread the word about doing good for others. Let's send it back to Scott in the studio for a look at today's consumer news. Scott.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you. Walmart is planning to test robots in a store. The robots will help fill online grocery orders with the goal of speeding up the process. The automation system, called AlphaBot, is being developed by Alert Innovation. Walmart plans to have it up and running in Salem, New Hampshire by the end of the year. The company admits it's a small pilot test at this point and they have a lot to learn about this new technology, and there are no plans right now to expand it beyond this one store in New Hampshire. The sole maker of paper straws in the United States has made a deal designed to help it keep up with skyrocketing demand. Indiana-based Aardvark Straws is being taken over by Hoffmaster Group. Demand last year for Aardvark's paper straws grew 5,000%. Within the last year, cities such as San Francisco, Seattle, Fort Myers, and others have banned the use of plastic straws, and now bigger companies like Disney are also getting rid of plastic. Well, there's now a winning bid on the Brady Bunch house, and the winner is HGTV. Former NSYNC member Lance Bass initially bid on the house and thought he'd won it, but his offer was rejected for a more lucrative bid from an unidentified corporate buyer. Well, the chief executive officer of HGTV's parent company Discovery says they plan to restore the home to its 1970s glory. As for the sale price, that hasn't been announced yet, but it was listed at $1.8 million. That'll be neat to see when it's done. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan now with our First Alert forecast.
I remember just how it was, right? With Marcia and all those good people there. Offshore winds today and will continue on Wednesday. Good news, that will keep mainly the effects, the harmful effects of red tide moving offshore. Now, that doesn't mean that it's blowing it all away from us. It doesn't mean that at all. It means it's still out there, but the harmful impacts that we notice, the sneezing, the runny eyes, the coughing, the kind of choking that you get when you get the red tide, well, that's good. It's staying offshore, although a little sea breeze every afternoon keeps it coming back in the late afternoon. So we may see that again on Wednesday, but the majority of the day it'll be offshore. Now, a transition day comes on Thursday, and then we will start to see again the possibility of some west to southwest winds on through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Titan radar picture showing not much going on out there. There's not a lot of rainfall around because of some very dry air in place, but it may be raining in your house right now. In northwest Bradenton had some rain earlier. That is now winding down. Anna Maria, you had a little bit of rainfall. You see it generated a few lightning strikes, stuck around for about half hour and then dissipated. Now we have other cells developing around Parrish and just along Ruskin there, and then another cell or two near Venice. So it'll be spotty. There'll be a few scattered storms through this next couple of hours, and then things will be winding down. Pretty heavy rainfall near US 41 near Nokomis, stretching up toward, again, the extension there. This is heading off to the west-northwest at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. There's the lightning now occurring near Ruskin, just on the north end of Manatee County, just north of Parrish. Another storm developing just to the southeast of Parrish. But the rain that was over northwest Bradenton now has moved on into the Gulf of Mexico. Elsewhere, we're watching this line, although it is weakening somewhat. It's not nearly as extensive as it once was, but it is moving off toward Rotunda and Placida. Could be there rather quickly. Rotunda just before 5 o'clock, it looks like. That dry air I mentioned, it's in place over much of central Florida right now, and there's an upper level low spinning right here. It's tropical in nature, and it will continue to move off toward the west-northwest, and with it, all this dry air just continues to move in our general direction, so it shouldn't have a big influence in terms of bringing us any additional rainfall. In fact, our rain chances will be going down below seasonal averages beginning tomorrow, continuing through Thursday and Friday. Well, the wind, all important in determining our storms in the afternoon and what direction they'll move, also which way the red tide will move. And we'll see generally an east to southeasterly wind throughout much of the day. It won't be all that strong, but strong enough to keep things a little bit better along the immediate beaches now. As far as the futurecast goes, notice though what happens, we'll start to see a return to late morning, early afternoon showers near the coast, and then the main focus will be inland areas. This happens on Wednesday, but more so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday. With that onshore flow, there's always a possibility of a few coastal showers. We've seen this pretty much all summer long. With just a few breaks now and again, then the heaviest weather will be confined to our interior counties during the late afternoon and evening. Well, let's get a look now at the forecast for boating. It looks like this. We are going to see just a light chop out there. Seas will be running less than 2 feet, and it looks as though we will see the potential for just a little bit of isolated shower activity there for boaters. Seas running less than 2 feet. So 30% chance for a few late day showers on Wednesday. It goes down to 20 on Thursday and Friday. Back up to 40 on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures near 90 degrees, which is close to seasonal averages. A little bit warmer and muggier for the weekend as well. Now our app tees, we're going to have some updates on that as well as the red tide goes. We'll be posting our Wednesday midweek update on our app as well as the full update on the red tide on Friday. You want to have that handy so you can check that periodically for your outdoor events, planning those, and also keep that app handy to track lightning detection around.
Well, Bob, the wildfire story in California just doesn't get any better. It continues to rage there, and now the Mendocino complex fire is the largest in the state's history. Together, the river and ranch fires in Northern California have burned close to 284,000 acres. That record was set just last year by the massive Thomas Fire, which burned in Santa Barbara.
Saying it's as big as New York, I understand. Firefighters say 629,000 acres of ground and vegetation have burned in California since January 1st of this year. Right now, 9,300 structures are threatened by the Mendocino thank you, complex fires in Northern California.
Well, and now the Holy Fire in California is forcing people out of their homes. This fire is still at 0% containment and is spreading fast in Orange County. The Holy Fire began burning yesterday afternoon, and crews worked overnight to fight it. 2 people hiking near a canyon were trapped when the fire erupted. They both had to be rescued and flown out by a helicopter. 2 firefighters were also treated due to heat-related injuries.
The U.S. Forest Service has just approved 14 fixed wing and 8 helicopters to be added to the fight. Some are outfitted with infrared technology to work through the night. At least 600 firefighters from multiple agencies were assigned to battle this fire. I know one meteorologist from the Tampa Bay Weather Service is helping out with those fires as well out west.
And the weather pattern still hot?
Still hot and dry. In fact, high pressure is going to be building. It's strengthening out west, and that means kind of blocking any kind of major storm to help things out there.
Okay, Bob. Thank you so much. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a Texas student celebrating her upcoming college graduation, taking photos with an animal you have to see to believe.
I'm Stephanie Roberts. Here's what's coming up on Suncoast View Wednesday morning at 9. Most of us take shelter when our summer storms rage, but not everyone. We'll meet a group of guys who go out into the weather to capture its power and beauty on photo. Plus, back to school week continues. We have help for families who are homeschooling. That's all coming up tomorrow morning at 9.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
The Players Center invites you to explore the family dynamic in the classic story of On Golden Pond. The Tony Award-winning play opening August 9th is funny, thoughtful, and brutally honest. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. On Golden Pond is calling you.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
It's not every day you see college graduation pictures taken in a swamp. And oh yeah, with a 1,000-pound, 14-foot-long alligator. Take a look. Mackenzie Noland and her best friend, Big Tex. The two formed a bond during Mackenzie's summer internship at Gator Country Rescue in Beaumont, Texas. But with her time at Texas A&M coming to an end, it seemed only natural that the college senior would take her graduation photos with Tex. And Mackenzie says while Big Tex may look scary, he's really a gentle giant rescued from the wild after he got used to people feeding him.
I know on a moment's notice it could turn bad, but he doesn't want to hurt us. He actually tries to watch our back whenever we go into any other alligator's pond. He's up there looking at us, making sure we're okay.
Wow, with graduation just a week away, the aspiring zookeeper is saying, see you later, alligator. I bet they'll be back to visit, though. Let's get more on what we're following today here on the Suncoast. Jacqueline's in the newsroom. Jacqueline?
Scott, as you gather up school supplies for the first day of school, there's one item you don't want to forget. It's called an emotional backpack. Coming up tonight at 5, we'll hear from counselors on the importance of an emotional backpack and tips on how you can pack one of your own. And tonight at 6, 3 dead manatees have washed up on Suncoast beaches in the last week. We'll hear from scientists at Mote Marine Lab on what they make of these recent deaths. Let's send it back to Bob in the studio for a look at our final forecast.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And let's show these pictures of last night's sunset. Look at this, a Venice jetty, lone fisherman out there. Obviously, the red tide not as much of a problem. He was out there, and you can see some storms off in the distance. And this from Venice Beach, Stone Castle getting this just as the sun was dipping below the horizon there. Notice how flat, calm the seas were. And look at this, Casey Key showing Fred Seeger there, showing a nice sunset just as the sun went below. Now, partly cloudy tonight. There'll be some isolated showers around, similar to what we saw last night, so we should get another nice view. Southeast winds will be at 5 to 10, and sunset will be at 8:15. 8:15. Now, the change that we'll be talking about coming up at 5 is the result of the high pressure ridge, which is expected to drop southward, and that's going to change our winds around a little bit and the timing of our storms. You can see we have some showers out there right now that are moving off toward the northwest. More on that at 5. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on ABC 7 News at 4. We'll see you again in 30 minutes.